Welcome, 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 everybody, to From Daydreams to Destinations, where travel dreams come true. And I am very excited to have a good friend of mine, Kamilla Norrman, is going to be joining us today. So I do apologize for the delay, but you all know me. I always have some kind of technical difficulties, but it was actually the doctor's office, so we're going to blame them today, not my technical skills. So, anyway, without further ado, because I want to go ahead and get started, we have Kamilla Norrman. And Kamilla, can you share with my community where you're calling in from?
So thank you so much for having me, Stacey. And yes, I am calling from Norway, from a ski resort called Hemsedal. It's around 3 hours from Oslo, and it's nearly quarter past 10 at night where I am.
Oh, well, but the sun is it's shining on you like an angel.
There's still this glow coming through the window. The sun it probably has settled, but yeah, there's still this beautiful evening light.
I know. And I have noticed all those beautiful pictures you've been putting up. I'm like, gosh, I got to come visit her.
Ah, you should absolutely come.
Have you
Absolutely.
always lived in Norway?
No, I'm actually Swedish Czech, and I moved to Norway a year and a half ago after 18 years in England. So I've actually spent a huge portion of my adult life in England, which was very flat where I was, and now I'm in the mountains and I love it.
Oh, good, good. Okay. Well, let's just go ahead and get right to it. So, for those of you, for those of our listeners that don't know you yet, how would you describe yourself and the path that has helped you develop your amazing Facebook group, which I love the name, called Wildly Alive?
So I guess it's my natural adventurous love for travel and just this passion for being outdoors and doing things that kind of give you that thrill where you really, really feel alive. And when I moved to Norway after leaving a very long and many years loving a relationship, I guess I was soul searching, and I went on a bit of a discovery journey for myself where I really kind of rediscovered myself. I tapped into this adventurous side of me and going solo traveling after many years of traveling with my then, partner. But that adventurous side really lit me up, and I rediscovered that kind of passion and following my own desires and feeling alive again because I was following my own dreams, and I decided that this is, so important not to put your own dreams aside for somebody else's, but to make sure that there's space for both. If you have a partner that, has one dream and you have a slightly different dream, don't ever sacrifice your own dreams for the sake of the other person, because I've learned that in the end is not the right approach. So, yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. Now, for I'm listening to your that led you up. Now, did that once you found that self-discovery of enjoying the travel yourself and doing the solo travel and going on those trips where you really felt alive, is that when you decided to come up with the Facebook group, or was it kind of like simultaneously where you were just like, you know what, if I went through this, someone else might as well?
I actually created a Facebook group this year, so it's
Oh,
something
okay.
that's come up as I've been thinking about what kind of community do I want to create, and the whole when I think I was up on the mountains, it was winter time, and I was up there in early morning, and the sun was coming up, and there was the wind, and it was crystal, just like sparkling diamonds everywhere. And with the wind blowing in my hair, I just had this notion of I felt so alive, and I thought, this is the feeling I want to bring to people. Truly want to bring everyone into this amazing, just this the notion within that, like, it just like fizzles in every cell, that you feel alive. And so I created a group, and it's work in progress. As you know, you work on bringing relevant content, and you want to make sure people feel engaged, and that it's something that keeps inspiring other people.
Okay. All right. Well, it does sound like you're just ready to like stand on top of a mountain and just, do that little parachute thing. Just listening to you, I feel like, okay, just jump. Woohoo.
Yeah.
So at
Yeah.
least I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I'm feeling listening to you. Now, I know that can you tell my community about, I know you do retreats for women, correct? I believe.
So at the moment, the retreats, I haven't done a retreat in Norway yet, but it is something that I want to host regularly throughout the year. And it will be mainly for women. Actually, do you have this sneaky suspicion that I might do a men only retreat? Because I think
Oh.
men also need somewhere to hang out, and there is a lot of masculine energy in these, raw kind of mountains of
Hmm.
Norway. And I think I could bring a nice balance where there would be a space that feels sort of adventurous. It speaks to men as well, but give them space for that perhaps softer side that they keep hidden. And I think for women, it is an amazing environment to truly reconnect with the more wild side that most of us have, but perhaps have sort of tucked away, or you know we sort of put it. I don't know. Some people just put it in their
Hmm.
handbag or whatever they do with it, but
Yeah.
the side is there, and I just want to bring it out because I think there's so much to be said for daring to just be alive in nature and reconnecting with nature. I think that brings out the aliveness in all of us. So it's going to happen, but I haven't actually had one yet. What is happening next is my Africa journey, which is like an adventure journey, which includes a bit of a retreat element in the journey where there's personal development and going really within to use this natural transformation that happens when you're in a foreign environment and a beautiful place with lots of inspiring animals and wilderness and everything.
Yeah, that's what I knew you had, and I call it the Africa trip. Kamilla's taking people to
Yeah.
Africa. So I apologize. That's how, and then I direct them to your page. Um, what is it that you found? And I mean, obviously, you're taking this from personal experience, but can you go just like a little bit deeper about you being in like the wilderness and this aliveness? Like, can you kind of walk me through, like, if I was curious and wanted to maybe work with you or see like if there's something.
Yes, of course. I think it's the combination of there is something quite unique about Southern Africa, and there is whether it's because it has that significance of being the original kind of birthplace of humans, but there is this wild but peaceful vibe that really makes you much more aware of yourself, and it kind of reconnects you to your soul in a way that I wouldn't have said that I was a very spiritual person, but when I was there I felt this insanely peaceful, just like calmness that would just be present, and it would just permeate my whole body and just the environment, and it would allow for me to pause and truly reflect upon, like, what do I want,
Mm.
what do I truly desire, and what is preventing me from achieving those things. And so as I experienced the beauty of northern South Africa and sort of eastern Botswana, I just felt this connection that I maybe hadn't really found anywhere else.
Hmm.
And the people there, such wonderful people, passionate about conservation and animals and nature. And so the combination of not really, poor connectivity, so your phone, you just have to
Right.
like use it as a photograph for photographs, but you are disconnected largely from the world. And I think that combination of being in this amazing natural environment with the beautiful wilderness and the animals and taking a time out from your normal life, it just allows you to have this profound transformation if you allow it, like it's there is something very special.
Yeah, just being, I guess, unplugged from everything and all the noise. So I would assume it just
Yeah,
really allows a
yeah.
person to
And
think.
then because I've studied a lot and obviously went on my own coaching development and studied a lot around personal development, but also how do you deal with trauma? How do you resolve issues that might be holding you back from the past? So I found that why not bring the two together where you
Mm,
harness that power of transformation that will happen when you're in these very magical places, and use my skills to kind of, allow people to have that transformation for themselves. So I'll be the guide walking along on this journey, but largely it's because I've seen what it does when you are there, and I know that can, have such an impact.
mm, mm, yeah. I'm just sitting here listening to you and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I live by a busy intersection, so I'm hearing the noise and whatnot, and you're just describing it, and I said, gosh, that really does force you to take pause
Yes.
and do that
Yes.
introspection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, good. Okay, so we all know that Camilla's gonna drop all the information. I don't know if you have any spots left on the Africa trip. I don't know. I heard that you're like down to maybe one spot left.
There is one spot left.
One spot
Yes, there
left.
is one spot left. I
Okay.
guess if there was two friends who know each other, could share the room, but we don't do strangers. We don't put
Okay.
strangers in a room together. So we have one room left. So anybody who's interested would be delighted to hear from you. It's going
Okay.
to be an epic experience. Very, very much a unique experience. You won't find this trip anywhere else. And I guarantee that you will come away as a changed person with much more than just beautiful photos.
Photographs. I'm sure, without a doubt, without a doubt. But I want to find out from you, Camilla, if you could, because I know your Facebook is your group is new, but you'll be dropping all that in the comments and the Africa trip too, as well as because I know you mentioned coaching that you do personal coaching as well.
Yeah.
Um, but is there something that possibly you could share with someone else that's out there that might be at that moment where they're afraid maybe to take that step either into entrepreneurship or just starting something new, or like you talked about, listening to your voice and not so much
Yeah.
always your partner's voice, and not that that's wrong, but sometimes you can get so consumed with listening to the partner. Is there something you could say from your point of view now after going through everything that you've gone through, and going out on these type of excursions and being in nature, is there something you could say to maybe encourage someone if they're afraid to take that step?
Yes, I would say, first of all, what are you afraid of? Really think about what is really holding you back, because I think people have a way of making excuses, and quite often if you ask the question several times, you will get one answer, and then you ask the same question again, you get another answer. So it's almost like you need to ask yourself 5 times to get
Mm.
to a layer where you are getting closer to the real answer. But I also think it's helpful to try and activate your natural inner wisdom by being very present in your body. So when you find yourself in a position where you are facing a situation, you don't really know what to do, if you truly focus on activating the right side of your brain, you can more easily tap into your natural sage powers. So that's where you are curious, you can have a better way of coming up with solutions, you will be able to innovate and navigate the choices you need to make, and you will have a much easier way of taking action. And I think it's helpful to take the perspective of, from the end of your life, looking back, what life do you wish to be seeing for yourself? So what do you want to be looking back at? And I think when you do that, all the irrelevant little bits and pieces that might occupy our thoughts now, they sort of fall away, and only the really important things will remain, because nobody's going to be, nitpicking around their lives when they think from the end of life perspective. It will only become about the truly important questions.
That is really, I've never heard that before. And to kind of go to the end of your life, whatever that might be, 88 or whatever age you pick, and then looking back, I like that. I like that. I got to keep that because that's something I haven't heard, to look at it that way from a different point of view, to maybe
Yeah,
offer some clarity. Wow. So make sure you drop that in the out down in the comments too, because I
yeah,
might
sure.
forget. I
Well,
try to have everything down, but you know, I might forget.
I will do that. Yeah, of course, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, we can all get so occupied, with like the little noise, like there's so much noise around, and it's easy to get stuck in a loop of negative thinking. And so that's why it's so important to try and activate your five senses, to switch the, from left to right brain, because then it allows you to have um, more clarity around your thoughts.
Mm, mm. Yeah, yeah, I like that. Definitely make sure you write that down in the comments because I know that that's a keeper for me. I have not heard that. So, um,
Amazing.
well, listen, we are coming to a close, but I feel like there's something. I feel like there's something else that we would share with the community. And yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know. I feel
I
like there is something else, and I want to give
so
you this time.
I would love to share my latest, shall we say, acquisition of knowledge and skills, and it is actually something called havening, and it
Okay.
is this amazing technique which actually everyone can utilize for themselves, where by doing something very simple with your hands like this, you actually induce delta waves in your brain, which is the kind of the brain waves that calm us down, that are present when we are falling asleep. And whenever you feel stressed, if you start doing this, and it's very rhythmical, it's very easy, everyone should be able to do this in one way or another. And then think of your favorite place. Like, just take yourself in your mind to that favorite place where you love to be, where you feel relaxed, where you feel joyous, whatever it is, or maybe your favorite sporting activity, whatever you feel easier to connect with. But when you do that, it just regulates your nervous system, it calms you down, and you will find that you feel much, much better. So that's my tip of the day.
So I was still, I
You
was,
were going into
I
your
was still in
favorite
the
place.
moment. I was still in the moment. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean she's stopping? But that's amazing because I think sometimes a lot of people don't engage in certain techniques because they think it's going to take too long. But that's like an easy peasy one. I like that.
Yes.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And we were talking before we went live, so you know how chaotic and crazy my few minutes was before the live. So, I mean, it took a minute, but then when you started talking and the imagery, and then I
Yeah.
noticed my hands started slowing down. So I guess my
Yeah.
body was woosahing.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Yeah. Well,
Wonderful. Oh
that's
my gosh, what a
amazing.
treat. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Woohoo. Okay,
Such a
I'm ready to
pleasure.
go.
Yeah.
That was the reset button. Thank you
Amazing.
so much, Camilla. For all of you that are watching, if you want to get a hold of Camilla, she's going to drop her contact information on another comment. She's going to do her
Yeah.
Facebook group. She's going to do her coaching business, and she's going to drop in the link for the Africa trip. One room left, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
So one room. So if it's two best friends, you all can go together. But that's all she's got left. So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you,
And I
Susie.
wish you
Thank
the
you so much.
best luck with Wildly
Thank you.
Alive. I know I'm going to be there live and kicking. So, community,
Yeah.
certainly look for invitations from me because I'm sure I'm going to send them out after this. Um,
Amazing.
but you all have a wonderful afternoon. Camilla, hang out for me with me just 1 second.
Yes.
Community, you all have a great Wednesday. I don't believe we have anybody scheduled on Friday, but we do next Monday, Cheyenne Creamer. I hope I said her last name correct, but I can't wait to speak to her on Monday. Thank you, Camilla. I wish you the best of luck. We will talk to you soon. And for
Thank
all
you
of
for
you out
having
there,
me.
God
Thank you
bless.
so much.
You're certainly
Thank you,
welcome.
everyone, for listening.
Thank you. All right. Hang out, Camilla, just a second.